Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the program. It's Tuesday, November 17th, coming to you live from our studio in Seoul. I'm Kim Mo-kyun. Before we get started, these are the stories we're following at the top of the hour. South Korea raised its social distancing level to 1.5 amid continuing cluster infections in the nation. The country reported 230 new COVID-19 cases Tuesday, staying in the 200s for the fourth day. Moderna announced its COVID-19 vaccine is 94.5% effective based on preliminary results from a late-stage clinical trial, becoming the second U.S. company in a week to report a high success rate. And South Korea's Lantern Lighting Festival may be added to UNESCO's Intangible Cultural Heritage list, as the Cultural Heritage Administration says it has completed the necessary submission procedures. Our top story today, South Korea on Tuesday reported 230 new COVID-19 cases, of which 202 were locally transmitted. With the country now seeing daily cases of over 200 for 4 days in a row, health authorities are enforcing stricter distancing measures. The Prime Minister announced on Tuesday morning that the capital area will soon be subject to level 1.5 distancing measures. Our Kim Hyun-sing is on the line to give us the details. So Hyun-sing, what does it mean for the capital now that it's under level 1.5?
Hi, Mo-kyun. When health authorities first announced their new 5-tier distancing measure system, they said that the levels will be tightened if the capital region sees a weekly average of over 100 daily cases. The number of daily cases in the capital region has already reached that threshold. In response, Prime Minister Chung Se-kyun on Tuesday morning announced the government's decision to raise the distancing level for the capital region up a notch to level 1.5. The tightened measures will start on midnight Thursday. Under the measures, there will be a stricter limit on the number of people allowed in certain types of facilities. Wedding halls, funeral homes, and saunas can only hold one visitor per 4 square meters. Movie theaters, concert halls, and PC rooms should seat their customers 1 seat apart unless they have a barrier in between the people. And amusement parks can only allow in half of their usual customers. Schools will go back to an attendance cap of 2/3, and protests and festivals are limited to under 100 people. That's all I have for now, but I'll be back with updates at a later time. Back to you, Mo-kyun.
Thank you for that report, Hyun-sing. We appreciate it. Now, with a rapid surge in COVID-19 cases across the country, the South Korean government is also stepping up efforts to contain a seasonal influenza outbreak, which generally peaks from late November to December. Our Kim Hyo-sun has more.
South Korean health authorities are increasingly worried about a possible twindemic, a combination of the COVID-19 pandemic and a seasonal flu, sweeping the country this winter. As the flu season generally arrives between the end of November and December, many people are getting their influenza vaccinations, despite rising concerns over their safety.
I thought about not getting the shot, but I chose to get vaccinated, hoping that it could keep me safe from the coronavirus as well.
The health authorities are also stepping up efforts to contain a major influenza outbreak. They have provided new diagnosis guidelines for treating influenza patients. Patients are first required to make reservations prior to visiting hospitals. If they have fever or respiratory symptoms, medical professionals can also guide them to COVID-19 screening centers. Both patients and medical professionals are required to wear face masks and abide by personal hygiene measures. And for those suspicious of influenza, doctors will first be asked to prescribe drugs.
From the 19th, health insurance coverage will be expanded for prescribing antiviral drugs for children, the elderly, and those with a weak immune system.
Several cities across the country, including Seoul, Gwangmyeong in Gyeonggi-do Province, and Wonju in Gangwon-do Province, have set up designated clinics for respiratory diseases at certain hospitals and public health centers. The government also aims to provide test kits that can diagnose both COVID-19 and seasonal influenza, but stressed that mask wearing and hand washing are the most crucial preventive measures. Kim Hyo-sun, Arirang News.
More good news in the battle against COVID-19. Moderna, an American biotech firm, has revealed that its vaccine candidate is 94.5% effective against the virus. Following Pfizer's announcement a matter of days ago, this is the second such vaccine in the U.S. to have a strikingly high success rate. Our Lee Seung-jae reports.
U.S. biotech firm Moderna on Monday reported that its experimental vaccine is 94.5% effective in preventing COVID-19 based on its interim data from a late-stage clinical trial. The report came just a week after Pfizer and its German partner BioNTech reported their experimental vaccine is over 90% effective. Among 30,000 study participants in Moderna's trial, half were given a placebo, a shot of saline that has no effect, while the rest were given the vaccine. Over a period of several months, among those who received the placebo, 90 of them contracted COVID-19, while only 5 came down with the virus among the vaccine recipients. However, none of the 5 became severely ill. Moderna added the vaccine did not show any serious side effects. It said only a small percentage of those who received this vaccine experienced mild side effects, such as body aches and headaches. Moderna also revealed a key advantage over Pfizer's vaccine, as it does not require ultra-cold storage, making it much easier to distribute. Moderna says the vaccine only requires a standard refrigerator temperature of 2 to 8 degrees Celsius for 30 days and can be stored for up to 6 months at minus 20 degrees Celsius. Pfizer's vaccine must be shipped and stored at minus 70 degrees Celsius. In response, the European Commission said Monday that the bloc was working to sign more supply deals with the vaccine makers. The EU has been in talks with Moderna since July, which included talks of a contract for a supply of 80 million doses, with an option to buy another 80 million. Last week, the Commission also reached a deal with Pfizer and BioNTech for a supply of their vaccine, with a formal signing expected this week. Lee Seung-jae, Arirang News.
Now, the World Health Organization is welcoming the recent progress made on COVID-19 vaccine development, but warns that a vaccine alone will not end the pandemic. Take a look at what the head of the WHO had to say.
While we continue to receive encouraging news about COVID-19 vaccines and remain cautiously optimistic about the potential for new tools to start to arrive in the coming months, right now, we're extremely concerned by the surge in cases we're seeing in some countries, particularly in Europe and the Americas. Health workers and health systems are being pushed to the breaking point.
The statement comes after reports there had been 65 COVID-19 infections among WHO staff at its Geneva headquarters since the start of the pandemic. Now, with the U.S. set to face a dark winter due to soaring cases of COVID-19, President Trump continues to refuse to transfer power to President-elect Joe Biden. Our Choi Min-jung has more.
Amid the worsening COVID-19 pandemic in the U.S., President-elect Joe Biden warned more people may die if President Donald Trump continues to refuse to commit to the transfer of power. Speaking at a news conference in Wilmington, Delaware on Monday, Biden stressed the need for the White House to coordinate on containing the virus.
More people may die if we don't coordinate.
Biden also made it clear that Trump's refusal to concede and cooperate with the transition team is going to delay plans for distributing COVID-19 vaccines.
If we have to wait until January 20th to start that planning, it puts us behind over a month, month and a half. And so it's important that it be done, that there be coordination now or as rapidly as we can get that done.
After talking with CEOs and leaders of top U.S. companies prior to the news conference, Biden signaled that businesses are willing to cooperate to recover the U.S. economy. He further underlined the importance of unity despite differing perspectives. Biden also urged Congress to come together and pass a new COVID-19 relief package, which had been discussed for months prior to the presidential election. With the Thanksgiving holiday coming next week, Biden also advised people to wear masks while social distancing. This comes as the pandemic continues to show no sign of slowing, with numbers of hospitalized COVID-19 patients reaching an all-time high of nearly 70,000 as of Sunday. Choi Min-jung, Arirang News.
Opening the new era of human spaceflight. That's what NASA called Sunday's launching of 4 astronauts into space in partnership with SpaceX. Our Lee Kyung-eun tells us more about the milestone liftoff.
It was a go, and history was made. After a one-day delay due to bad weather, SpaceX and NASA successfully launched their first operational mission on Sunday, sending 4 astronauts into space. Dubbed the Crew 1 mission, it was a result of NASA's multi-billion-dollar investment, years of preparation, and 2 successful test flights. The crew was transported by a Dragon capsule named Resilience, mounted on a Falcon 9 rocket developed by SpaceX. That makes the American company so far the only private firm to have launched a fully fledged, human-rated spacecraft into space. It also marks NASA's first crew mission in over a decade without having to rely on Russian technology. Since the space shuttle was retired in 2011, the U.S. has paid Russia to fly NASA astronauts to the International Space Station.
But most of all, it's a partnership with SpaceX and our commercial partners. And, leaving the team over there in the firing room, everybody is so fired up.
After arrival at the ISS late Monday, the 4 members will stay there for an extended period of 6 months on a science-related mission. But that is not the end for NASA and SpaceX.
In the next 15 months, we should be flying roughly 7 Dragon missions. And this mission represents the initiation of a Dragon in orbit continuously, knocking on wood.
NASA says Sunday's launch opens a new era of human spaceflight and takes a step closer to lowering costs. Among those monitoring the milestone moment was U.S. Vice President Mike Pence. But the founder of SpaceX, Elon Musk, had to watch the launch from afar as he tweeted on the previous day that he most likely had a moderate case of COVID-19. Lee Kyung-eun, Arirang News.
And some exciting news. Another South Korean cultural heritage could be added to UNESCO's Intangible Cultural Heritage List. This would be the 21st item if listed. Our Min Soo-kyun reports.
The Lantern Lighting Festival, also known as Yeondeunghwae, may be added to UNESCO's Intangible Cultural Heritage List. The annual event is enjoyed by thousands of people across the country in celebration of the birth of Buddha and has a history of more than 1,000 years. The Cultural Heritage Administration said Tuesday that it has completed the necessary submission procedures and will soon be under review. The 2020 nominations will be held online and discussed during the committee's 15th session, which runs from December 14th to 19th. This year, a total of 42 nominations are eligible for inscription on the representative list of Intangible Cultural Heritage of Humanity. If added, South Korea will have 21 cultural practices and properties listed by UNESCO, including traditional Korean wrestling, shirim, and the lyrical folk song, Arirang. In 2008, the royal ancestral ritual of the Jongmyo Shrine and its music was the country's first cultural heritage item to be officially recognized by UNESCO. Min Soo-kyun, Arirang News.
Good morning. Air quality in Korea remains bad as dust continues to fill the sky. In fact, more regions are now under ultra-fine dust advisories. In fact, the capital region has been under an advisory for 3 consecutive days now, so don't forget to wear a face mask that can block ultra-fine dust today. Some welcome news though. Rain is in store to help clear the dust from the air. Rain will spread to northern parts of the country as the day goes on today, while the capital region will see light showers in the early evening. We have lots of clouds for most of the day, while temperatures will stay on the mild side. Highs will climb to the upper teens or low 20s this afternoon. Then rain is likely to continue through Thursday morning. Then after a couple more days of warmer conditions, we'll see winter temperatures next week, with lows plunging to just above 0 degrees Celsius here in the capital. That's Korea for you, and here's a look at the weather conditions around the world.
And that's a wrap for us at the hour on Arirang News. We'll be back with more of the day's headlines at noon Korea time, so stay tuned. Thank you for watching and goodbye.